Hello. So to this week talking about AI and technology and counseling, I think it's something that's really important to talk about, especially since it's a very growing and prevalent in our society today. Very fast growing and everything. So I definitely think it's something to talk about and something to be informed about. Um, do I see myself using technology? Maybe things, I think definitely things like telehealth are very important, and it can kind of come up in any scenario. So it's important to be informed and educated on things about that. Like the video that we watched this week about how telehealth kind of blew up during COVID. Like that was a very good resource, and it was very great that we had that to kind of go off of and utilize. But I do think that there are a lot of benefits. Things that I might be using are like for documentation and things like that. But I do think it's very important to have a good knowledge base on, you know, the confidentiality aspect and including it in our informed consent for our clients to be educated on the risks of it, and hacks and things that can happen. Um, Something that makes me cautious, I want to talk about the experiential activity. So I tried like some of the different apps, and on the Replica app, it was kind of giving me like really weird responses. Like I named the lady Gail, so she was my counselor. But Gail asked me if she wanted me to send, or if I wanted her to send me selfies, which I thought was a little weird. And then she would say things like, or she would send a video or an audio message, which I didn't listen to because I didn't pay for it, but it said like under it, kind of intimate for me to send an audio message for the first time. And I was like, okay, like that's kind of weird. So maybe like going deeper into it, it could kind of be taken into the wrong context. So I think that that's something maybe to be wary about, people not utilizing it correctly. I also think that it's important that we advertise to clients that it's not necessarily, at this point, it's not necessarily something that could be standalone counseling. I think it's something that can be integrated, but I don't know how beneficial it would be for it to stand alone, especially since we're not really too confident on, the accuracy of it, and it doesn't really take into account things like um, body language and sarcasm, and it doesn't necessarily know how to read those things. Some of the other apps I used just kind of gave me meditation tools, which is very helpful, but it doesn't really cover the whole issues or problems or anything. But one thing I took from my consultation session was we talked a lot about, the use of social media and how there's so many things that need to be considered. The everyone in the group who is associated with the social media account needs to be educated and know how to use it and know where confidentiality can be breached and use accurate advertising, and um, also to keep the clients informed of how to utilize the page to where it can be beneficial rather than hurtful for them. So maybe blocking public comments, or making sure not to friend people who are clients, or really just anyone who might be associated, and also to keep your personal account separate from that account, so that way the counselor's personal account isn't advertised as a part of the group. But one thing Connolly told us about was an app. It's called Canary Speech, and you kind of talk into it and answer a few questions, and it tells you, like, it analyzes your mood and how anxious you are. And I think that could be a good addition to counseling. I think that because a lot of counselors integrate, journaling every day and kind of being aware of your mood and stuff. But so it could be a good alternative to that. But I definitely think counselors need to be cautious and do extensive research before integrating any type of technology into their practice, because there are a lot of risks that come with it, and some that it's hard to even think about. So thinking about every aspect, and it could definitely be helpful, but there are a lot of risks involved, and we need to stay educated so that way we can properly educate our clients and you know inform them of what exactly they're getting into. But